Is it really possible to get a Spector Euro LX for 500 bucks? Let's find out. Metal Bass Monday. Welcome back. This week I'm going to ask for a lot of input from you guys. I always appreciate that you help guide the channel and things, and since we're starting off a new type of episode that I talked about before, where we're going to be looking at hidden gems, some gear that seems to be passed over or missed that I think needs to be brought back, or I'd just like to bring to your attention. So let me know, would you like to see these episodes where I feature instruments that have been maybe lost in time, or just because of a brand name or something are getting passed over, and I think is something we need to take a look at? Would you like to see that as a separate episode, or a continuing part of Metal Bass Monday? Or, third option, would you like to see it on Metal Bass Monday since you come to this one on the regular, and then have it also featured as a secondary title of its own? I could do all three. I'd love to get your input. So hit me up in the comments down below, and much appreciated. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys would prefer I do on that one. Now, on that, please like, subscribe, and share while you're here. Much appreciated. It really does help the channel a lot, and the more you do it, the more other people can see it, and we can all find out about some cool deals and things like that. And I'm hoping to bring a bunch of them to your attention here over the coming weeks. So a quick bit of background on the Euro LX, what it is, and how we can get one so cheap. The background on it is that the Euro was the import version of Spector, and the first high-end model that they did like that. It originally started out as basically just a copy of the NS2, but done overseas. The interesting part here, though, is that they didn't go to an Asian factory like a lot of the importers do, or to a company called World Music, that most of the guitars you see anymore that are made overseas come out of this factory. They went to the Czech Republic, and by all accounts, the factory in the Czech Republic was just of a much higher quality standard, and they put out some fantastic basses, with many bassists even liking the Euro as much as the American-made NS2 because they were so similar. So why is this important? Well, because there was, for a short time, a bass also being made in the Euro factory that was for a different company that is pretty blatantly copied from the Euro LX. So get to it, Rodney. What's the final secret here? This is the Dean European Custom Select. And I know what you're saying. A Dean isn't a Spector, Rodney. Or is it? Now, the interesting thing is, this is also made in the exact same factory as the Spector Euro LX, by the same people. Now, that on its own doesn't mean this is a Spector Euro LX, but let's take and A-B a couple of components here and see if we can't draw some conclusions. Spector style bridge in gold. Check. Active EMG pickups. Check. 4-knob preamp setup. Check. Maple top. Check. Alder back. Check. Schaller tuning keys, same series as the Euros. Check. Brass nut. Check. And then finally, on the back, the actual tag at the top, just like on the back of a Euro, saying which company it came from and that it's from that same Czech factory. Now, we can talk about some distinctions, but the core of the instrument already we can see is the same. Same woods, laminated the same way, same maple neck, electronics, hardware. It's even kind of the same blue that they use on the most popular color of the LX that I've seen so far. Now let's talk about the differences on it and see what sets it apart, and do those differences make it that far from the Euro LX? Now, one of the most interesting things I find about it is that, unlike the Euro, it has stringers going up the neck. You can see the two pieces right there, which to me is an added touch. I like that, a multi-laminate neck, very cool. The other and most notable piece is going to be the body shape. This is closer to a longer instrument, more like a P bass. It's not an exact P bass, obviously, but more in a larger scope scale than what the Spector would be. They're a much smaller scale body, but they're much thicker. Now this one is a thinner body. It's slimmer, And it doesn't have that concave kind of trademark that Spector basses generally have. They are smaller, thicker, have that curvature. This one's a longer body, but slimmer. But that's pretty much where the similarities and dissimilarities end, except for, of course, name on the headstock and the shape of the head. But so if you're looking at this, 90%, you've got the same materials, same construction, same people building, same electronics, same hardware. For all intents and purposes, this is a Spector Euro LX. It's made the same way. Now, I know there's a lot of, we hear internet rumors and things like that where people make claims or base things off of here, and they're just going off of some kind of advice somebody else told them. But I can speak with authority on this one. I use Spector for a long time. I've always loved their basses. And I've owned a Euro LX before. And this feels basically identical to it. No joke. The only difference I notice in between this and a Euro LX5 is that the neck is slightly slimmer. That's it. And of course, you know, the way the body feels, but I don't find this one bothersome at all. What's even less bothersome is I seem to find these, although they're kind of rare, and it's rare that they pop up, but you can find them. And the fact that they seem to go for in between $500 and $600, that's a killer. So if you're a fan of Spector, or you thought about diving in and you thought about getting one of the Euro series, I definitely recommend seeing if you can dig one of these up. It is, for all intents and purposes, again, a Euro LX. Now, the final difference that to me wasn't that big of a difference, but one of the things you definitely want to notice about it is in the pickups. EMG for both versions, the Dean and the Spector, but the Spector comes with a P in the front and a J in the back usually. Some of the LX they put DCs into. This one actually comes out of the box with CS in both positions, being the ceramic and steel humbucker. A slightly different sound. I didn't find it a bad sound at all. I like a P up front, so I put one in there, but I actually like the sound of the P and the CS together. I feel like it's a pretty great combo. A pretty minor difference. Still getting active non-HZ series EMGs, and everything else is basically the same. So the myths and legends are true. You can get, for all intents and purposes, a Spector Euro LX5 for $500 to $600. I've seen the 4-string versions go even lower than that sometimes. Although probably after this video, they'll go up. But it's a great deal. It's a great bass. And if you like that feel, don't be afraid of it just because of what's on the headstock. Dean hasn't always been known for their basses or necessarily been really popular in that department. And I think that's what's cost this one when it's an overlooked, really great constructed instrument. And if you're on a budget like most musicians and you've been drooling over that Spector for ages, this could be your boy right here. So, Spector Euro LX to be had under a different moniker for $500 to $600. Time to hit the eBay or whatever else and see if you can root one up for yourself. Have fun. And as always, thank you to my patrons. If you'd like to get some of the additional content and some of the other pieces that I give out on my Patreon pages, links to Patreon and Subscribestar are down below. Really appreciate the support for the channel, and I think you may enjoy the additional content. And as always, thanks to my patrons who already help out with the channel. It's always much appreciated. You guys are the best. So that's going to wrap it up for this Metal Bass Monday. I'll see you on the next one.